Hello everyone, and welcome to the 2021 Music City Open presented by Dynamic Discs. We are in beautiful Nashville at the Cedar Hill course. This is the pdga National Tour finale. And I'm Leah Tsinajinnie, and I'm here with
Sarah Sinclair.
Thanks for this coverage by Infinite Discs. In round 2, we had beautiful weather. It's another not cold, but chilly fall day. First up, we're gonna have Hailey King. She's out of Wisconsin and she's sponsored by Discraft. Next up, we have Missy Gannon. She's out of New York and she is also sponsored by Discraft. Next up, we have a newbie on the scene, Natalie Ryan. She's out of Virginia and she is sponsored by Prodigy. Last up, we have Juliana Korver, the one and only, out of Iowa, and she's sponsored by Innova.
So coming into this round, we had Hailey King, Missy Gannon, and Natalie Ryan all tied up at 1 under par, and Juliana Korver just one back at even par. Hole 1 starts out with a 356-foot par 3. Just a slight hyzer around this corner. It's reachable by most of the women's field, except that there is a low ceiling off of the tee. And you've got to throw something kind of flippy to get around that corner and span the distance. So we'll see if any of these women can get in there for a circle 1 putt.
Hailey's drive drifts a little bit right. It looks like she might have gone into the rough.
Oh, she puts it a little bit higher. I like this play. Taking some of the trees out of play for sure, but landing probably short of circle 2. Now, if you've never watched Natalie Ryan play, she's got all the distance to pin this basket, so we'll see how far she can get up there. A little bit low, but she'll have an easy approach. Juliana definitely puts enough turn on it, but like a lot of players, the mistake is just throwing it a little bit too low just to get under these branches.
Missy leaves it a little bit shorter than she'd probably liked, but we have all the confidence that she can make that.
This can kind of be a nerve-wracking putt since you've got some of those vines and the basket is actually covered up by trees on one entire side. So you definitely want to get close for a less anxiety-inducing putt.
Hailey with the first putt from the edge of the circle. And
yes.
She makes that look easy. I'm sure we'll be seeing that all around. Missy with a solid putt to start the round. Good putt by Natalie, and Juliana will be tapping in from the gnarly root from this tree.
Hole 1 actually was not a score separator for the women. it only played .19 over par, meaning most of the field shot par.
This is hole 2. It's a par 5, 618 feet. For the first shot, you're going to want to land right around here to give yourself another right turning shot. Because this hole isn't that long, you're going to have a shorter third shot for your approach for a look at a birdie 4. Hailey puts it a little high. She should have a good shot to get into the woods from there.
This could be a tough tee shot to commit to. Sort of like hole 1, you're just trying to get around this corner, but also trying to keep it low while also pushing as forward around the left corner as possible.
Missy puts it a little longer, and that kick left will help her out.
This looks great. Oh man, just a little bit too wide.
And that gets a good skip left. So she'll have the furthest drive of the bunch and have a good position.
You'll see a lot of the women land in this area and then opt for the forehand around the corner, which is a great play just to get into position on your next shot through the trees. That is a great position for her next shot up the hill.
It looks like she landed in that ditch there, which is far enough up the hole that they'll have both Hailey and Natalie will have good shots to the green.
Juliana does about the same with the backhand.
That was beautiful.
Ooh. This is the area of this hole where you've really got to get tricky. There's so many trees to get through, and you've got quite a bit of elevation to climb to get up to that basket.
This is Hailey with her third shot. Only about 80 feet to go. This is a similar spot for Natalie. You'll be seeing a lot of forehands out of her. She's got a great forehand. And she pins it. She'll have a birdie.
This card really made this hole look easy.
Yeah, that was 3 different ways to have a great look at birdie for this hole. That was a good putt by Hailey to get her birdie 4. And we'll be seeing that from Juliana and Natalie as well. I don't know if y'all saw that, but Natalie just tapped in with her left hand. If you're paying attention, you can get a left-hand tap-in count for her.
I only feel confident within about 2 feet to tap in with my left hand.
So we have 3 birdies on the card on hole 2.
3. Not a whole lot of distance here, 266 feet, but it is pretty uphill. And I would say the shot for a righty backhand player would be a hyzer flip. You don't want to turn it too much over to the right, which is the mistake you'll see a lot of people throw and get trapped in over there and have to battle for your par. If you hyzer out, you've got a lot of space over on the left. But I imagine most of these women will be putting for birdie.
Hailey's first off the tee. She hits one of the trees on the right.
I think I just jinxed her. But that's the mistake to make right there. Natalie a little bit low. Oh, she had a good skip going there. Looks like a fairway driver from Juliana. And she'll be pin high for sure. Just about.
Missy gives it more airtime and definitely gets it pinned deep. She'll have about a 30-foot putt. Natalie is inside circle 2. She'll be putting for her birdie. Missy almost in exactly the same spot as round 1, and she cards the birdie again.
Just a little wee bit right on the right side for Juliana.
With that putter, her entire outfit is monochrome. Natalie and Hailey get out with a par alongside Juliana. And Missy gets the solo birdie on hole 3. This is hole 4. It's a par 3, 321 feet. The way that the drone is flying now is the left side of the fairway. If we have any players that are choosing forehand, this is the route they'll go. Otherwise, backhand, right-hand players are going to throw on the right side of the fairway and try to hyzer into the green.
This fairway can lend to several favorable skips if you hit in the exact right place. Unfortunately, Missy does not get the skip there. She's going to be circle 2, I believe.
Hailey has a good angle to get the skip. And it lands her in circle 1.
She found the secret spot for sure.
Natalie also having a good angle on her disc.
Wow.
She followed Hailey's line to a tee and got even a little closer.
Now this is the play that I like. Actually, no, she went up through the wall of trees as well. I've never seen 3 discs get through that wall of trees before in a row. That was amazing.
Missy is in circle 2. She'll have a short look at par. There we go. JK cleans up that for her 2. If you ever watch Hailey play in person, she's a pretty quick putter. Her routine is very short. We'll get through hole 4 with 3 birdies by Hailey, Natalie, and Juliana.
Hole 5 is another uphill hole with a low ceiling, lots of exposed roots. There can be lots of action if you hit a tree and kick left or right. But really, if you can land here, or better yet, if you can turn it all the way up to the basket, there is a route there, but it's challenging. I suspect we'll see a few forehands out of at least, I would say, 2 of these players. Oh my gosh. Whoops. Wrong spot at the wrong time. Well, good thing you didn't get hit because, you know, Hailey King's got a lot of fire on her discs.
Natalie trying to also take the forehand route. She leaves it a little inside, so she might be scrambling from the rough.
The play that I like is this hyzer flip, but you've really got to commit to the height.
Missy almost gets through, but she hits one of the last trees.
Oh, Natalie in a tough spot down here. Looks like she's found a window.
She got out, so hopefully she can pitch up to try to get her bogey.
Oh, man. Missy looks like she's going from the same spot, so hopefully she can get close to the basket. Ooh, nice up.
Natalie with her long look at bogey. Not quite. She'll be taking the unfortunate double bogey there when she taps in. This is Hailey for her birdie attempt.
Oh, no.
And she catches one of the trees.
I think Hailey needed that spectator backstop, so she didn't end up in the tree. Just kidding. We don't ever wish anyone to get hit.
Where Hailey got is past the pin.
Yes.
You won't see that very often here because of how right turning this hole is. So that's probably not a look she's had before. Natalie takes the double bogey. We have Missy, Hailey, and JK with their par 3. This is hole 6. It's a 280-foot par 3. It's another severe right turn, but this slopes downhill instead of uphill. So a lot of players are going to be trying to throw an overstable disc with a forehand line if you're right-handed. If you don't do that, then there is a backhand line for a late turn. You're trying to get past this wall of trees on the right side and skip down.
Oh, that's a little bit outside, but she made some good headway. This backhand shot is difficult. You really need to trust something that's going to turn all the way down that hill, or it could push too straight like we saw here.
Missy uses her forehand, and it sneaks through, so she should have an easy look. She landed in circle 2.
Natalie puts it a little bit high and gets caught up in those initial trees there. Very nice.
This approach can be very tricky because of how downhill it is. It requires speed control and the right disc to not skip and roll away.
That was great finesse from Juliana. I love this new pin placement because these 4 trees kind of block it.
Yeah.
I don't love it because I was blocked on one of my putts, but I think it makes for a really challenging green. Ah, great bid from Hailey.
So as you can see, the birdie is hard to get here. In fact, this played as the 3rd most difficult hole, and there were no birdies in the field.
Wow, that actually surprises me.
Yeah, it's just a nervy putt even if you get into circle 1, but you're uphill of the pin.
Mm-hmm. So everyone taking pars, losing no strokes to the field on this hole. Hole 7 is one of the signature holes at Cedar Hill. It is a par 4. The initial shot is just get as far as you can straight down this tunnel, land about here, and then you want to make a right turn and throw out to the pin in this field. It typically is pretty windy, it's pretty noisy. Because of the traffic, there can be a lot of spectators down here, so it's a hole that's got a lot of intricacies, I would say.
Hailey puts it a little high, but fortunately she gets through most of it. She'll have a short look to get out of the gap.
Juliana matches the grade of the fairway pretty well, but ends up right in some of the shrubbage.
Missy puts it a little high. It falls down to a similar place near Hailey.
Oh, I was hoping that would get through those branches. Luckily, she's got a forehand to save her. That was a great out.
She's probably about less than 200 feet from the pin. Hailey finds a similar spot.
Oh, Missy's got a tough lie here. She's kind of pinched for the forehand, but let's see what gap she's taking. Okay, so she's going to put it wide around the left side. Ah, that was a challenging lie for sure.
World champ takes her time to make her decision, and it pays off. She gets out nicely for probably about 150-foot approach.
Beautiful up.
Natalie is throwing for her third Oh!
Good catch.
That was awesome.
Let's see that run back.
I'm going to say that was likely her A3. I want to ask her what she threw there, but
wow,
that was picture perfect. She was also about 150 from the pin on that one.
I love the rundown.
We definitely love to see it. Hailey with a longer bid for her birdie. She'll be tapping in for par.
This is one of those baskets where the traffic is never going to stop. So if you're someone who is easily distracted, you just kind of got to get in the zone and just go for it. No matter how much movement is happening behind the basket.
So we'll take 3 pars and a surprise birdie.
Yeah.
A throw in from Natalie. This is hole 8. It's a par 3, 422 feet. This one is a long hole for us in the FPO field, so most players are just trying to get out with a 3. We have some distance throwers here, so let's see what they can do. Natalie up first.
Seems to be probably a left to right crosswind. That's going to be a tough lie from over there, but she may have a little gap to shoot through.
Yeah, as we saw in round 1, if you're behind that cedar, it's really hard to maneuver around.
Now, Hailey's got all the distance to get to the pin. She puts it a wee bit short, maybe just outside of circle 1.
And that was a beautiful drive. She lands just outside of circle 2.
Ooh, a little bit of an early release there. That was actually a great tree save. If she was over there on the left side, she would have no look at the basket. So thank you, tree.
Missy threw about a 200-foot approach, but she late releases it and it lands in the rough on the right.
Well, Natalie had a gap, apparently. Beautiful upshot.
Juliana throwing from about 70 feet from the pin. She'll take her par from there. And an unfortunate roll away from the cage hit. But as we know, Hailey can make those 28-footers. This is for par.
Very nice.
Natalie's got a great putt. When I played with her in round 1, she made a lot of good ones. Hailey from a similar distance, and she makes good for her par.
The 3 almost feels like a birdie on this hole. This actually played as the second most difficult hole for our field, averaging almost a half stroke over par.
Yes, and there are no birdies in the field on this hole. It would have been cool to see another throw-in.
Yes.
So So Missy loses a stroke to the card with her bogey,
Women are
everyone
being
else taking
featured
par.
in the magazine.
The women are out there, the pro women, so then it kind of motivates a lot of us amateurs to like go out there and not be afraid.
I would love to see more tournaments like this in the future for women's disc golf.
I want to see more women filling spots in a tournament than men. That'd be something to brag about.
Disc golf's legit and we're here to stay and we're gonna make names for ourselves.
Say yes to disc golf!
We are here on hole 9. It's a pretty open tee shot. It may not look like it, but as far as Cedar Hill goes, it is. You kind of want to land anywhere around here, and then it's going to be a right turn down to the basket for a par 4. If you've got big distance like Natalie does, a flick is a great option on this initial tee shot. And she'll actually have a good look over there to the basket.
Hailey pulls her drive a little right. You can get sneaky over there, but it will be a hard look.
This is one of those holes where you could throw the same disc the same way 3 rounds in a row, and each time it lands in a subtly different place, and you still have to kind of scramble down to get to the basket. There's always surprises at Cedar Hill.
Mm-hmm. Missy tries to get it down past the last set of trees, which gives the most open look. That last tree prevents her from doing that, so she'll be also trying to find a sneaky route.
And there's that right side gap that opened up for Hailey. She was able to get down there all the way to the basket.
That was a great approach.
Keep turning.
Missy pures her line and lands past the pin just outside circle 1. And you should not be surprised by now when she hits a perfect turnover backhand line. That was beautiful.
Natalie using the forehand, coming up a little bit short behind a clump of trees.
This is Hailey putting from the right side of the green for her birdie.
Oh, man.
There we go. That's a good 34-footer by Missy for her birdie 3.
Oh, wow. Great putt.
Love a frame up.
Juliana sinks her birdie as well.
And this is a great birdie to get to finish up the front 9. We get Missy, Natalie, and JK with their birdies.
So we're going to end the front 9 with Hailey, Natalie, and Juliana under 3 under par, Missy at 2 under par. Everyone's all locked up. Thank you for joining us. That was the FPO front 9 coverage of Round 2 2021 Music City Open presented by Dynamic Discs. For myself, Sarah Sinclair, and Leah Tsinajinnie, meet us on the back 9.